and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I am very pleased to be here this evening, and we're going to have a couple of callers call in, and I'm going to do some readings for them. Before I do that, I was just thinking about mediumship in general and what's so fascinating about mediumship is that, you know, when I get asked to perhaps connect to a loved one, what I find is so fascinating is that I'm able to sort of perhaps give evidence of your loved one, and perhaps tell you a bit about who they were and what happened in their lives, and all of this is sort of evidence to you that I actually have the person that I say I'm having. And what I love about evidence and working in that style is that what it means to us is that, well, actually, if I am proving that I know aspects about your loved one, it actually means that I am actually speaking to them in the spirit world or heaven or whatever your term is for that. My guides always call it the kingdom of light, which I find quite fascinating because it shows that we are all really ultimately, our spirits need to be full of light. And so if you're full of light, you go to the kingdom of light. But anyway, I love the fact that we as mediums are able to prove without doubt that there is another world, that this is not it. And that's what's so incredible, I think, about mediumship. Not to mention that mediumship also has another, good value thing, and that is that we act as healers with our words. And sometimes when people have lost a loved one, there perhaps may be things that are unsaid or things that need to be said, and in that process that healing can take place, not only here but in their world as well, which which is incredibly rewarding to me to actually get to that position where healing can take place. And Spirit always set it up. They set it up in a way that allows that healing to take place. But when I talk about with Spirit and providing evidence and sort of assuring people that there is a spirit world, I want to say that Spirit resides not only in human beings, but everything that is living. Every living species that exists on this earth has a spirit, and that is fascinating to me. And when you look at sort of some of our pets and our animals, how and they look at you with their eyes, and you can see there is something more to them than just their physical body. But anyway, I think it's time to go to some callers. And I believe that we have Rebecca in Aurora, Missouri. Are you there, Rebecca?
Yes, I am.
Oh, hello. And so I am a medium, and I can connect with loved ones, or I can look to give you guidance from my guides. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work, and where would you like me to focus?
Well, I guess probably some of my past relatives would be good.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch it. I thought I heard past.
Past relatives.
Oh, your past relatives. Is there anybody in particular that you'd like me to connect to?
Yes, my Aunt Mary, for one.
Right. Okay. Let's see what I can do for you. Right. Okay. Well, I have, before I go to sort of your Aunt Mary specifically, I have a group of people that I feel are part of your family but reside on one side of the family, and I feel like I want to go on your mother's side of the family. And I feel like your mother's side of the family is coming forward, and they're coming en masse. And I
Oh,
feel
wow.
also, and the reason why they're coming is, I'm just asking for somebody amongst the group to come as a spokesperson, because I need to speak to one of them, and um, a gentleman is stepping forward, and I feel, and I'm hearing the word grandfather. And so I feel that this is your grandfather on your mother's side of the family, and he
Okay.
says that we have we have some important words to bring to you, and ultimately to your whole family, because they feel that that there's a specific reason why they're coming through, and I'm sort of pressing them for that. But he's saying to me that they have concern, about someone in your family, and I feel like they're sort of like raising a sort of an area of concern, and they they feel that that I feel like I want to go to a younger person in your family, and I feel like it's a male, and I feel like I want to go to, that they're telling me that they are, upset with how this person, is they're saying to me that this person is not being, now I have to be careful how I choose, how I get these words, because I don't want to get it wrong. They're saying to me that they don't. This young man, um, um, I feel like he's not being treated correctly, or there's some sort of level of harm that's coming to him, and they're concerned, and they're coming in with a sort of sense of protection for this young man. Um, I don't know whether it's a young person, so, I'm not quite exactly sure of the exact age, but he's male, and I'm being told that, I feel like there's some sort of bullying, or some sort of, um, speaking to him in tones that are not acceptable to them, and your grandfather is saying to me that, it's like they've heard these words being given to him, and he is the young boy is struggling with his life because of the way that he is being spoken to, and dealt with. Um, does that make any sense to you?
Now, would that be on my mother's side?
Your mother's side is the people that are coming through, but they're telling me
Right.
that
Yes,
there is a
that
boy
person,
who is
yes, that young
alive.
person. Would it be on my mother's side? That young person?
I would. They haven't told me, but because it's your mother's side that is coming through, it's highly likely that it will be
Yeah.
on that. But they haven't told me
Hmm.
that. But
Okay.
they're telling me that he is not being treated fairly, and I feel like it's like there's some bullying going on around him, and he's struggling with how he's being treated, and I feel like they're coming to alert this situation, coming to, sort of warn you, or bring this situation to your attention, and I feel that, um, your grandfather is saying, that this young boy needs protection, because that he's saying that he is struggling with his life, and struggling with I feel like he's going within himself, and feeling insecure in his life. Um, and I'm just going to ask if there's, So I've given you that information, and I feel that's something you're just going to have to investigate. But that's something
Okay.
that I am getting, and it's like an important warning to you to
Okay.
investigate um, what's going on. And I'm just going to quickly ask if there's your Aunt Mary. I feel is stepping forward, and because I've got a lady, and I felt like I heard Mary, and she's saying to me that she's sort of standing there, and I feel like she's quite interested in her clothing, and I feel like she found this lady I've got was very interested in clothing and clothes, because I feel like and I also feel like she knew how to alter clothes, or sort of put a pin in somewhere, and just you know make it fit in a better way. She was quite good with clothes. Does that make sense to
Okay.
you?
Not really, but that's okay.
Um, if it's not your aunt, does that make sense with somebody else in your family? And I feel like she's got sort of
um,
she's got a dress that she's going down to sort of halfway down her legs, and past her knees, and I feel like she's I feel like she sort of was quite into clothing and dresses
hmm.
uh, and shoes.
Wow.
Also, she's just put her feet out and just shown me her shoes. And I feel like
No.
she's also got blue eyes, because she's shown me her eyes,
Mm.
and I feel also she reminds me of my grandmother, because she has like sort of her hair is done in that style of
Does she
uh,
have gray hair?
pardon.
Does she have gray hair?
um
Is she
I
tall?
just yes, she is tall. She is tall. um and
That
and I,
sounds
and I, but
like
I
sounds
sounds like, sorry.
it sounds like a yeah, it sounds like a grandmother Omi.
Yes, and she's also I feel like I feel like I want to go into sort of the 30s and 40s, of sort of style of my hair, and I feel like and maybe that was her period, but I feel like I feel like she would spend a lot of time on. I feel like there's a lot of curl in her hair, and she would spend time curling it, and fuss around with her hair, and she suddenly
Hmm.
put grips in my hand. I don't know if you call it grips in America, but it's like
Yes, she's
the
country. Yes, she's a country
yes,
lady.
yeah. So she'd put lots of grips in her hair, and sort of to keep the curls in, and I also feel like she was somebody who was very fit and active, and I feel like she would have walked a lot as well, and just sort of I feel like sort of very sort of physically sort of fit, and also um, she suddenly just put this apron on me, and it's one of those ones that you put round your waist, and there's got a front bit that goes up. And she's telling me that she used to like wearing her aprons, and quite regularly would would
that
would wear.
that was grandma. That was grandma
Yeah,
Omi.
yeah,
She lived till
and
she was
she's
almost 100.
wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
She always
What a
had
lovely
aprons
age.
on when she baked and cooked. She always had an apron on, and she
And
always
she's
had
just
a full apron with the safety
yeah.
pins on it.
Yeah, and also I feel that uh, I feel like she was known for her baking, and I feel in particular she was quite good at apple pie. And I feel, and she's just given me an apple pie, and she's put a little bit of cinnamon in. Now in England we don't normally put cinnamon in our apple pie, but it sounds very nice. I quite like that. Um, but
Right.
I know that she would have put some cinnamon in her apple pie. That would have been one
Right.
of her ingredients that she would have liked. And
Mhm.
I also feel that she was quite good at roasting meat, because I'm seeing the sort of
Yeah.
carving the meat.
Yeah.
Um,
That was
and
my mom.
I also see animals around as well, because I feel like farm animals are close by.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't know whether she
She
lived
lives
on
in
a
the
farm
country.
or whether
Yeah.
the animals were just nearby. But I can see these animals. I can see cows. I feel like there's a dairy herd nearby where she lived.
Oh, very good. Well, that would be Aunt Mary. She cooked a lot, and she had her and Uncle Eddie had cows. They had a dairy farm.
Right. Good. Um, well done, Aunt Mary, for coming forward. um,
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
yeah, and also I'm just getting the milking of the cows as well.
Yep.
And
Yep.
what I'm being shown is it's like I first of all I saw it doing by hand, and then suddenly I saw machinery, and it's like it
Mhm.
switched. Because
Yep.
I feel
Yep.
that,
That's true.
and so that sort of suggests to me that originally that you would have done it by hand, and then it switched to
Yes,
machinery.
that's true. Yep. Mhm. I lived
And
with her for a long time.
yeah, and also I feel like there's some really old fashioned containers that were used for the milk, that I feel that somebody somewhere in the family has. It's almost like they've got it on their shelf in their kitchen or something like that. That there's old
Mhm.
fashioned like bottles or something like that that
Mhm.
exist.
They was used to put them in stainless steel milk cans.
Yeah,
That's how they
yeah.
packed them in.
Yeah, and I feel like there's one still in existence, or someone's got it. You know, it's sort of more, and it's become
Mhm.
more of an ornament than anything.
Right.
Um,
Right.
anyway, I'm just being reminded that I've only got 10 minutes left of the show, and I've got another caller waiting.
Good.
But thank you so much for calling in.
Thank
It's
you.
been
I
lovely
appreciate
to
it.
speak with you. Oh, my pleasure. I
Thank
am on Facebook, and my name is Gail Moffat. If you do wish to contact me. Anyway, so I believe we have Carrie in Manchester, New Hampshire there. Are you there?
I am.
Hello, Carrie. And so I'm a medium. I can connect to loved ones, or I can also help with some guidance. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
A loved one.
Loved one. And who would you like me to connect to?
My grandmother.
Right, okay. I'm glad you said your grandmother, because she's just standing by the side of me as we speak, and she's sort of jumping up and down, and she's quite sort of she's quite excited about um, sort of speaking to you, because I feel almost that I want to refer to you as her little girl, because I feel like it's almost like there's more of a daughter relationship than a granddaughter, because I feel like I want to sort of look after you. I want to have you in my care. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Because she raised me.
Yeah, yeah. So you're more like a daughter to her, and I also feel that because I feel also I want to look at some jewelry that perhaps you have on your fingers, like rings or something like that, because I feel that you have some of her jewelry
I
that is
yes,
very
yeah, yep, I
it's
do.
very yeah, it's very precious to you as well, because it reminds you of your grandmother. And I also feel like that there's a poem or there's some words that mean a lot to you that are linked to your grandmother. And I feel that these words were read out at her funeral. And so when you hear them, or I feel like they mean a lot to you. And again, I feel this is another reminder to you about your grandmother. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And I also want to say with your grandmother is she says that she's really glad in a way that things happened in the way that they did, and that she wouldn't have wanted it any other way, because she feels that although she chose to look after you, she feels that you enhanced her life in a way that she couldn't have sort of thought possible, because she reached a stage in her life where in a way she needed you more than you needed her. It sort of flipped around. Like there was a time when you needed her to look after you. But I feel like there's a time when emotionally she needed you, and you were a great support to her through a very challenging time in her life. And I feel that she wants to really, she's really grateful. And I feel like she wants to really sort of let you know how much she appreciates you for being there for her. Does that make sense to you?
It does. And in a way, I thought she would be upset because when she passed away, my mother made me lose her house.
Right. I can assure you that she is not upset with you. And also,
Okay.
have you? Because I feel I feel like there's something about you going to school. Does that make sense to you? And I when I
Yeah,
say school, I
I was going to school to become a para at a handicapped school, but I couldn't do it
yeah,
anymore because I became sick and I couldn't do it anymore.
yeah. And I feel like she's saying to me, she's urging you to continue with your sort of like academia, or go back to school. She's urging you to do this because
Okay.
she wants to see you succeed. And she's saying to me that if she was alive, she would have never have let you sort of, step away from school. She would have pushed
Right.
you along that path, because I feel with her that she felt that having a good education was very important, and she was very pro education. Does that make sense about your grandmother?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
And so you won't be surprised to hear her saying, "Go back to school." I
No, she
feel
was
like
always like that. She was always like
yeah,
that.
yeah. She wants you to go back to school, and I know that she's telling me that that if you go back to school, she's going to come with you, and she's going to help you and support you through this, because and I feel also that there is some sort of money set aside, or there's finances that are there for you to do this. Does that make
No,
sense
not
to you?
anymore. Because when she passed away, my mother blew through all the money. There is no more
Right,
money.
but there was, wasn't there? There was.
There was, but
There,
I didn't get any of it. My mother did. My mother did.
right.
My mother took it all. My mother took it all and blew it. She didn't give me anything.
Right. Okay. But you've got the jewelry, so that's good, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Um, and I feel also there's some ornaments that belong to your grandmother as well, that you would have
Actually,
known about.
we're putting them on our Christmas tree as we speak.
Right, good. That's wonderful, isn't it? And also that you have a photograph that you have out that is of you and your grandmother together. And
Correct.
I feel that, and I feel that this photograph is really special to you, and I feel that also that you must have somebody that's very important to you in your life that you live with, because I feel this is a male, and I feel this could be a relationship that you're in, and I feel that you regularly say to this person, I wish that you'd have known my grandmother in the way that I did.
It's my son.
Oh, it's your son. Okay, I knew it was
my
a male.
son, he's 17, and I tell him every day, Scott, if Mene was alive, you would be spoiled. Mene should have known you.
Yeah. I know that, and she knows that, which is an indication that she's actually there in your life, observing what is going on, and also there's something that you cook, that you do, that is unique in the same way that your grandmother used to cook something.
Her pork pie.
Yeah, that's it. She says that
her pork pie on Thanksgiving.
Yes, and she's really glad that you've got, part of her ways. She said, and she's also saying that she will be there at Thanksgiving and at Christmas, and in fact, she's telling me, she's correcting me, I'm there always around you. You are probably the most important.
I feel her every day. I feel her.
Yeah. You are the most important person in her world. You are absolutely everything to her. And I also feel that she's been allocated to you as a guide, and that's why you're always feeling her. So if you need to get hold of me, my name's Gail Moffat, and you can find me on Facebook. And thank you very much for calling in. I love connecting to your grandmother for you. She's adorable, isn't she?